all the championships, all the rivalries, even more than the ring itself. And for a whole generation of fans, John Cena was the and this is where it all begins. A specific date, a specific place, now etched into the history books forever. This is the scene for John Cena's final match. A night that kind of felt both inevitable and at the same time completely impossible. So inside that arena, the air is just heavy. You can feel it. This isn't just another event on the calendar, it's a genuine goodbye. And the energy from every single person in that building tells the story. And this really shows you the crazy mix of feelings swirling around. You've got fans of all ages, kids who literally grew up with his t shirts and wristbands, and adults who saw him go from a rookie to an icon. Some are on their feet, cheering, celebrating a legendary career. Others are getting pretty emotional. And a lot of people, they're just silent, just trying to soak in every last second. So, to really understand why this ending means so much, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, before all the fame, before that iconic salute. It was just a young guy with a microphone and an absolutely insane amount of drive. This was it. This was the moment. That one fiery declaration of ruthless aggression right in the face of a legend, that was the spark that lit the whole fire. What's really amazing is that his fight wasn't just with opponents in the ring. No, it was this constant battle against doubt, against rejection, against an audience that, let's be honest, didn't always welcome him with open arms. But he never, ever backed down. And that single moment, it didn't just start a career, it kicked off an entire era. For years, the gravitational center of the entire WWE universe wasn't a championship belt, it was John Cena himself. And this number, well, it says it all. 17. Record tying 17 world championship reigns. Just think about that for a second. That speaks to not just how successful he was at his peak, but his incredible ability to stay at the absolute top of a brutal, brutal industry for so long. And listen, you don't get to the top without going through the absolute best. His rivalries are the stuff of legend. We're talking epic battles with icons like Edge, Randy Orton, Triple H, The Rock, CM Punk. These matches didn't just define his career, they wrote the history book for an entire generation of WWE. And that was the thing about the era of Cena. His presence was just unavoidable. Those dueling chants of "Let's go Cena" and "Cena sucks" became this deafening soundtrack for years. It didn't matter if you loved the guy or hated his guts, you always had a reaction. But his legacy, it's so much bigger than just what happened between those rows. To really get a sense of his true impact, you have to look outside the ring. It's a really interesting question to think about, right? With all the titles, all the huge main events, what's the one thing that will truly define the man behind the character when all is said and done? And the answer might just be right here in this number. Over 650. That's how many wishes he's granted for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's a world record, and it's not even close. More than any other celebrity, any other athlete, anyone in history. And this is why that matters so much. He used his incredible platform to be a hero when the cameras weren't rolling, when no one was watching. For literally millions of kids and their families, John Cena wasn't just some wrestling character. He was a real life, honest to God symbol of hope. Which brings us right back to this final night and the man standing across the ring from him. See, his opponent wasn't just another wrestler, he was a symbol of everything that's coming next. And this is the real story of the night. It's a clash of eras. You have Cena, who represents the past that built WWE, against Gunther, this dominant, unstoppable force who represents a colder, more relentless, unforgiving future. So this isn't just a match, it's legacy itself being put to the test. So the stage is set, the story is crystal clear, and as his iconic music hits for the very last time, every single person in that arena gets to their feet. He walks to the ring, but slowly, in no hurry. He's just looking around, saluting the crowd, and just breathing in the atmosphere of the place he called home for over 20 years. It's an incredibly powerful, emotional moment. And then, after a hard-fought battle where every move feels heavier, every second feels longer, it's over. The bell rings. And just like that, his in-ring career comes to a final, definitive end. And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it all. For a figure like John Cena, the outcome of this one last match is, at the end of the day, completely irrelevant to his legacy. He doesn't earn one more win. His entire career, his journey, is the victory. So, as the book closes on this story, the real question isn't about who won or lost that night. Years from now, people are going to ask something simpler but way more profound. Did you witness it? Because it wasn't just a match, it was a moment in history, a night a true legend.
All right, so we're back for another deep dive.
Yep.
And today,
Always fun.
yeah,
Always a good time.
always fun, always a good time.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be talking Raiders. We got a whole lot of stuff that you sent in.
Yeah. Bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of good stuff. So
A lot to unpack.
yeah, a lot to unpack.
Plenty to unpack.
And our main focus is gonna be on Raheem Mostert,
Right.
their new running back
Yeah.
that they got from Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have so much on him, and then we also have a couple player interviews,
That's right.
and of course, the big coaching changes over there in Las Vegas.
Big changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be looking at a Dolphins beat writer. We're gonna be looking at what Mostert himself had to say when he was introduced to the Raiders,
Mm-hmm.
and then these interviews with players, Malcolm Coons
Yeah.
and Isaiah Johnson Jr.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff.
So should be a good one.
Yeah.
I guess without further ado, let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
So Mostert, right? He's in the silver and black now
That's right.
after being released by the Dolphins back in February.
Yeah. Early February.
Yeah. So
Beginning of February.
beginning of February.
Yeah.
For the Dolphins, that was a good move financially. They cleared up some cap space.
Yeah. Almost $3 million.
Yeah.
2.9 million to be exact.
So freed up some space to do some things.
Yeah, they freed up some space, and maybe that'll be a story for a future episode.
Exactly.
But for the Raiders, this could be a much more impactful
On the field.
on the field. Yeah. He's a 10-year NFL veteran. He's been around the league in Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, Chicago, San Francisco.
A journeyman.
Yeah, a journeyman.
Bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, and
But that kind of experience,
it's just what I'm gonna say.
that's valuable.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of different systems, different coaches, different philosophies. So he brings a lot to the table in terms of just that experience and that veteran leadership.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
They need that in that running back room.
Well, and they need the production too, right? I mean, this is a team that has struggled mightily to run the football the last couple of years.
Their run game's been atrocious.
Yeah,
Bottom of the league.
I mean, it's been hard to watch.
Really tough.
So, they needed to address this, and they went out and they got a guy who, has and has that veteran presence.
When they introduced him, he seemed ready to work.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking about competing for the starting job, and
Yeah, he said, I'm not afraid of competition. I'm here to work. That's the kind of attitude I think Pete Carroll loves. He wants guys that are hungry, that are going to come in and work hard.
so he knows that they're looking for someone to step up
Well, they need somebody. I mean, they really need somebody to kind of take the reins of that.
Absolutely.
I mean, Josh Jacobs is gone. So it's important.
So it's most
Indian
teams
kana waktim
we'll see.
You know, we got to talk about his recent performances too, a little bit too. It's a little bit of a mixed bag.
It's kind of weird. Like 2023,
Phenomenal year.
phenomenal year.
Like you said, standout performance.
Yeah, franchise records with the Dolphins for rushing touchdowns,
18 rushing touchdowns.
overall touchdowns,
21.
total touchdowns.
And he finally hit that 1,000-yard mark.
Yeah, over 1,000 yards
Yeah.
rushing.
Yeah.
First time in his career.
It was huge. I mean, it was like,
It was huge.
was that his peak? I mean,
Well, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can he get back to that level?
because 2024 was a different story.
Much different.
A lot less production.
Yeah.
Fewer yards, fewer touchdowns.
And his average, yards per carry went down.
Yeah.
He actually played 4 games.
He did. He played 13 games in 2024. So the question is, what happened?
What happened?
And I think part of it is Devon Achane
Yeah.
kind of
He
emerged
emerged.
as a real threat
Right.
in that Dolphins backfield. So
Yeah, so they started leaning on A-Chain more, and
Yeah.
then Mostert kind of,
got phased out a little bit.
got phased out.
And he's not getting any younger.
Right. So that's kind of
That's a red flag.
it's a red flag.
I mean,
It is.
you hope you can regain that 2023 form, but
Father time.
Father Time's undefeated.
Right.
And
But he did have those good years with the Niners.
he did. Back in like 2016,
Yeah.
he really started to kind of come into his own, and then from 2017 on, he was a pretty consistent contributor. He had his first 100-yard rushing season in 2018,
Oh,
and then
pasa.
even in 2022 with the Dolphins.
Ha, zaralia.
100 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So
Kıvırcık
potential is there.
basman
lazım kanka. Çorba
The question is, can he tap?
Kalıyor marlo.
Buraya
Ha,
daha
kavla
böyle
kalıyor.
benzeyen var.
Exactly.
Kavla kalıyor.
Can
Buraya
he,
pasa.
thrive in this new system?
Yeah, that's gonna be a
big question.
we'll have to see how he fits in with what Chip Kelly wants to do.
Right.
Chip Kelly likes to run the ball. He likes to run a fast-paced offense.
Yeah. Up tempo.
So we'll see how Mostert fits into that.
Yeah. So, but for the Raiders, I think this is a good gamble.
Yeah, low risk, high reward.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a 1-year deal.
That's right.
$2.1 million.
If he works out, great.
Yeah.
If not, they're not really tied to him.
Exactly.
They can move on.
So, we do have someone who covered him pretty close
Yeah, down in Miami.
down in Miami, and that's Elaine Poupart.
The Dolphins beat writer.
Yeah, Dolphins beat writer for
Dolphins on SI.
Dolphins on SI. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Hondo Carpenter from the
Las Vegas Raiders insider.
Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast
Yeah.
spoke to Poupart.
Yeah, got his take on Mostert.
Got his take. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he probably pointed out some of the things we've already talked about.
Probably, Mostert's speed,
Right.
his vision.
His ability to find those holes
Yeah, when he's healthy.
when he's healthy. Yeah. That's the big caveat.
That's the big question mark.
Yeah.
Can he stay healthy?
Right.
Because if he can be a dangerous weapon.
Yeah. But
And then, of course,
he probably talked about
the downside,
the downside.
injury history, the
Yeah.
fumbles.
Yeah, there was a little bit of fumbling issues.
There were some fumbling issues, yeah. And then the big question is, how does he fit in Las Vegas?
Right.
How does he fit in with Chip Kelly's offense?
Right. Was he even a great fit in Miami?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
We'll
Wait and
Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
see how it plays out.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about some of the players who are already on the team
All right.
and what they're saying.
Yeah, let's hear from the players.
Yeah, let's hear what they have to say. So first up, we got Malcolm Kuntz.
Defensive end,
Yeah, defensive end.
coming off an injury.
He's coming off an injury, and he gave an update on his rehab. And it sounds like he's feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, he seems optimistic.
Yeah, he seemed really optimistic.
Yeah.
We talked about trusting the training staff, and
He gave a shout out to the training staff,
he gave him a shout out.
which is always good to hear.
Yeah,
You want your players to trust the medical staff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And he also talked about how frustrating it was to be sidelined last year.
Yeah, he talked about how he felt like he was letting the team down.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to contribute.
It was tough.
And that's going to be tough for a competitor.
You want to be
I want to be out there with your teammates.
battling.
Dadlin.
Yeah. he's really hungry to get back on the field.
Oh, yeah. And make a difference.
Make a difference.
Yeah.
And he also talked about the potential of that defensive line.
Yeah, if they can stay healthy.
They can stay healthy.
Which is a big if.
It is a big if.
But, you know, he mentioned Max Crosby, of course, Christian Wilkins, and himself.
He said,
Sky's the limit.
if they can stay healthy. Which is a big if.
It is. But that's a scary thought
Yeah.
for opposing offenses.
I mean, Max Crosby's a beast.
He's one of the best.
Yeah. Wilkins is no slouch either.
So, yeah, so they can all stay healthy.
Watch out.
And then, oh, yeah, he also talked about, you know, how he used his time off, you know,
Smart.
to study film, which, you know, I always think that's a good sign.
I
When
would
a player's using their time off to
improve their game.
improve their game, yeah. And he was looking at not just his own film.
He was watching film from the league,
Yeah,
which is great.
yeah, absolutely.
Especially the best one.
Yeah, so I'm curious.
Yeah, good techniques to pick up.
Yeah, what tendencies of other defensive ends did he see?
Is he going to try to incorporate any of that in his game?
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know.
Yeah.
So,
Great, so that's cool.
that's good.
What about Isaiah Johnson Jr.?
Yeah, Isaiah Johnson, the safety,
The safety.
and he had some really interesting things to say. He talked about special teams.
Yeah. You don't hear that a lot.
You don't hear that a lot, but you know, he was saying that it's a great way to
Bring energy to a team.
the team. Yeah, like a big special team.
It can really fire up the guys.
To fire from the team.
Yeah, the defense, the offense, everybody.
Gets everyone going.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting perspective.
It was. He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
He understands that it's more than just offense and defense.
All three phases of the game.
All three phases.
Nasza!
Yeah, on defense.
Jaleka!
Alongside Max Crosby.
To supportavo hora finire.
Max Crosby.
Every snap.
Yeah. Guys going full speed.
Musawski.
Can't let him down.
Be the guy.
Dogging it when Max Crosby's out there giving it his all. So
That's good to hear.
yeah.
So, I think that's the kind of
And
mentality.
they need
Na wakta yakana.
And then he also talked about learning from Pete Carroll.
yeah.
The new
The new head coach.
He seemed really excited about that.
Yeah, he was excited. Yeah.
And he brought up a good point. And he was talking about how Carroll's had success with bigger defensive backs in the past.
Yeah, he mentioned Cam Chancellor.
Ni student ne da klipishi kana kula klipishi. Mama no se meke. Mundu kasha bono jami mare kasha ba.
Maybe Carroll can do the same. You know, they're both big, physical safeties. So
It's an interesting point.
it is. It's an interesting point.
You know,
And Carroll's got a track record. So it's not.
Ato se jeje mama ki wahi awata na shpogre pish na. Na, sama se ta to se veri.
new coaching staff.
Yeah.
طب جامي زر بدل كشاب بيدو
The
كشاب
myth, the legend.
زر كوباس قول سميري وانا رنداي زر كو رنداي شابا
Yeah. Established.
زر يسكن بنو كي بدل كشاب كم زي كبس
And you know, that's something that the Raiders have not been able to do.
نل تمن لا راټو لیکل کنه دا لري کا دا کوټه
Big
لیدو
change.
It's going to be a huge change.
I mean, it's going to be a complete 180.
زر كو شابا
Asa chama chama.
We'll see if it works. But if it does,
Transform their offense.
it opens up everything.
It opens up
The play action passes,
Yeah.
the
bootleg, you know, all that stuff that Carroll loves to do.
Zarda.
And it takes pressure off.
Na wakta shaba.
oh yeah.
You know, if you can run the ball,
صلاح بديارو ما يورزي
you don't have
دسي بدي مرقومه كانت شوفاتها بدي من اللي ها
especially for
دسي
you.
بدي مرقومه دسي شي بدي واما
So I'm really interested to see how this all plays out.
Me too.
Yeah.
And
هرشتو شوق زتانه يير كمان
Mostert himself
Right?
said that he talked to Carroll
Yeah, he said he had
Baka
conversations
ndio
with Carroll
padaula.
and Chip Kelly.
before he signed.
Which, you know,
That tells me that they sold him on the vision.
So that's exciting.
That's encouraging.
It is.
Yeah.
It's encouraging. So
So yeah, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
I think we have.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting season for the Raiders.
It is a lot of new faces.
A lot of faces.
Coaching staff.
New system.
New system.
Belki arası krizi var, arada tepkiyle.
A lot of change, but
Sometimes change is good.
sometimes change is good.
You know,
Sürekli garmıştakıyla.
Yeah.
So
So we'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I'm excited to see how it all goes.
Me too.
Добре, добре, давай.
So
Добре,
let's,
добре, давай.
let's wrap it up with
Final thought.
final thought, yeah.
All right.
So I want you to think about this, right?
Okay.
What if
What if?
Mostert
Yeah.
does return to that 2023 form
Okay.
in this Chip Kelly offense
Okay.
with Pete Carroll, you know, leading the way?
All right. I'm listening.
What does that do to this Raiders team? That's a great question,
We talked about how it helps the quarterback.
right? It takes the pressure off.
Takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
What else does it do? I mean,
It changes their identity.
it changes everything.
Yeah, they become a physical team. A team that can control the clock.
Yeah.
A team
Hayır
that
kan, bir bakan iyi dur be, dur bana.
Yeah.
and I think that's something that they haven't been
They haven't been able to
that's a
do.
few years. So if they can do that,
Yeah.
that's
How's
a
it
huge
again?
advantage,
It's a huge advantage.
especially in the AFC West.
Raja,
Especially in that division.
Raja.
Run the ball
You gotta be able to run the ball in that
Ben
division.
olayım böyle.
with those teams.
Yeah.
So
Dur lan
So I
saat
think
ya,
it's-
bunu kaçar olmaz.
it's more than just
Ben
It's
gene ne
more than
vakti
just
ya.
the yards.
the yards.
It's about
It's about the mentality.
it's about mentality. It's about
It's about establishing a physical presence.
Oğlum kapı kapı var abi.
Corona.
Yeah. And I think that's something that Pete Carroll's
No way.
all about.
Buti siguro
And I
rin.
think that's something that
Matata
players
tu
are
era
missing.
papa
Yeah.
tayo.
So
so it'll be interesting to see
No marami pa
if they can
rin
make that transition.
Principul işareti yavaşlıyor.
Finesse team.
La tarafı ne var abi?
Era să pe sim, să fan să fie pani rusu
A
to.
smash mouth team.
yes,
Nu mă doar nici, am doar la.
That's
Yeah,
what
but
we're
it's
gonna
not
do
on camera.
for-
I can't wait.
Odiyor na vakti bana.
So that's it.
Alta,
Deep dive.
eu vou fazer o
Thank you
último
for listening.
găsău.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Mă gândesc de la
All right, so everyone get ready.
Bazıra.
Today we're
Eu
going
am și pe de
to Toronto
bazări.
football legends.
Da, poate nu le luăm
We
mai
are
târziu.
exploring a really interesting link, I think,
Ori, deci
between
blocăindu-le.
Mo Salah, the
Dumnezeu, auzi,
Egyptian
nu
king, as he's
vreau să
known,
vedem.
tearing it up in Anfield, and Francesco Totti, the Roman gladiator. You know, Salah, he's racked up an incredible 193 goals at Premier League titles, Champions League, glory, really the whole 9 yards, right?
Right.
But even legends have their heroes, you know, and before Anfield,
Right.
a younger Salah, he was learning his craft in Italy,
Yeah.
first in Fiorentina, then at Roma, and this is where the story takes a fascinating turn.
It really does. It's really
You're a bit
interesting,
of
isn't it? You think
Oğlum
that
papaya başladı.
someone with Salah's talent would be looking up to, you know, other Premier League giants, right? You know, some other huge names in England, but his hero was not a Liverpool legend.
Right.
It was Francesco Totti.
Yeah.
A name that's just synonymous with
Acum care
a player whose
Sabah böyle
loyalty
inşallah
and
ortamını
artistry
yıkarak.
was mythical.
Sabah böyle.
Okay, so
Sırf
picture
fotoğraf
this. You're in
falan
Rome,
var.
2015.
Ha?
The Colosseum history everywhere you look. And then there's Salah, who's fresh on the scene at Roma. He meets Totti, who's already a veteran at 37 years old.
Wow.
Dur
But
kavga.
he
Şuna
was just
şuna
a
dur
learner
kavga.
for Totti, right? He was out there just casually showcasing skills, back healing passes like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And I can just imagine a younger Salah just watching him
Görmüş. Bu var.
Salah has even said,
Hmm?
quote, Totti was my idol.
Allegedly.
Even at 37, his skill was unreal. And think about it.
Nasıl bir
Salah
şey
has
var?
played with Van Dijk, Allison, Alexander Arnold Robertson,
Yeah,
top tier talent.
absolutely.
Jamie Carragher even compared Salah to Steven Gerrard.
Oh, wow.
Another legend.
Bir dakika.
And it's Totti. It's a special place.
It's interesting, isn't it? So, what was it about Totti that was so captivating for Salah?
Or I think it was more than just his age-defying skill.
Right.
Think about the context.
Okay.
Totti wasn't just playing; he was conducting the game.
Yeah.
He was Roma, the Stadio Olimpico, buzzing the Curvasa, roaring for their Il Capitano. Totti delivered with vision, pinpoint passes, those effortless goals.
Yeah.
It was poetry in motion.
Right. And Salah has actually talked about Tony's vision, right? He said that he saw passes that nobody else could.
Yeah.
And it just left him wondering, like, how does he do that?
Right.
You know, it's almost as if some secret footballing code got passed down from Tony's brain to Salah's left brain. But some might argue that their play styles are pretty different, right?
That's true. Their personalities are very distinct.
Yeah.
Dacă te gura pe comandaz la ieri. Ah.
some intriguing parallels.
เดี๋ยวเขาจะขอทำไม
Tony the Maestro, illustrating the attack.
เราเรื่องเดี๋ยวเราก็สังเกต
Yeah.
เอ้ย
And solid that explosive speed cutting inside onto that lead.
หนูก็ต้องมาเป็นจุดที่ว่าจะว่ากันนะหนู
Tony's played at understanding of space and movement. Did that influence how efficient Solid became?
Right.
Wali.
ได้นักเรียนเสีย
Yeah,
ได้
for
ดิ
sure.
น้องวันที่เฉลี่ยวันนี้ตู้กูรู้สึกตู้กูรู้
Pitch, right? I
It's
mean,
a
their
little.
relationship went beyond tactics.
อันนั้นมึงก็ต้องช่างมันตัวละ
There
กัน
were
ต้อง
stories of them
ก็
laughing
ที่มึง
together,
ก็สัก
joking around.
ตัวละกันต้อง
Bonding that really went beyond that age gap. But you know when Tony
ใช่
bid farewell to Roma after 25 years?
มึงก็
Can you imagine the weight of that moment?
Yeah, it was more than just a player saying goodbye.
เขาเรียนจบเขาเรียนซ่าเลยนะน้อง
वर्षाचा म्हणणे का दारूला मला म्हणणे थोडा पहिले
Yeah. I'm curious what I keep coming back to Solid's
वाटतं चुंकन ना पाच हजार वाटतं एसी वर
admiration for Tony's skills. It's about something.
हा आता कुठे वाचला विषय
लाव कामाच्या उगारणाकडे मी दाखवणार
Very successful partnership. You know, there's that highlight where Tony makes this no-look pass
Oh yeah,
to set up a stunning Solid goal, and later he jokes that Solid's just lightning.
it's like a perfect encapsulation of their dynamic
तुला बघ ना तुला विशाल बेबी
and his creativity.
तो समजा तीन देता
Yeah.
अरे शिवाजी कम हो
सुपियानी de mur melade
आता तो मान له बाल बना पड़ता भाई
उता वर करे गाना
ताश तो उसको सुपियाना चार से बाल पड़ दो ले ली
तय तय
ताश तो 200 बन ना 200 बन ताश
Păi dar nu se fătei, pridi din de grevan, ne nimule mi șa pe uspe mângda rale.
o tu e plan nu ce mare bal vos pe ragi ne ma plan mine prinde și arsen nu la bal vos ma la rale șabe ve
It impacts how their legacies are perceived.
That's the $1 million question.
zanda ka hada shi zanda
Dar ale de către asta.
mutani da e unii san
There were risks.
shaba piesi mi dal credi shaba mane crash pe era
Mă vingeara să plei de la
crash mane pe era da să va
These symbols of unwavering loyalty in a sport where players constantly switching teams.
Right, right.
But Salah's journey is compelling too. This global ambition, testing himself against the best, and becoming this worldwide icon.
Yeah.
Could that actually become like a new model for aspiring footballers?
Yeah, it's actually it's making me rethink how we even define legacy. You know, we tend to focus on the trophies and the stats, but maybe it's also about impact. And their playing styles almost reflect Tony the Maestro always
de mane las ko mane mane to ideal je para
and then you have solid lightning, fast, direct, cutting through defenses like a hot knife.
no bas na go kan
Elegance and artistry,
no la ko mai de asu lo so da ki kan ni de le da
Great.
speed, power, and precision.
Yeah.
That might be
Ano ko biara oras tong dahil bakit iwan na wala
And
man.
side-by-side comparison for the
May kapasa
documentary,
ko
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
where they score almost
Marisa.
identical.
Yeah.
Tony with finesse
Yeah.
and Salah with sheer power.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So maybe it's more nuanced than just like old school versus new school.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And even despite those differences, they both have this dedication to their craft, a shared pursuit of
Seydi.
mastery.
Da sam ne yapıyor ki çünkü o kası çevirsen bu.
Some might argue that Salah, precisely because
Na
he
çıkıyor
has
ma
played
hoş bir bestem.
clubs, he's had to adapt and evolve his game even more
Okay, yeah.
than Tony, who was in a familiar system for so long.
Huh?
What do you think of that?
That's a really good point. Being exposed to different tactical systems,
Yeah.
different managers, different teammates,
Right.
they can really force a player to broaden their skill set
Right,
and become more versatile. We see that with Salah.
Yeah.
He's not just a speedster.
right.
He can create, he can score from different angles, he can play in different positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe that adaptability,
Yeah.
becomes a key part of his legacy. Tony proving that unwavering loyalty can still exist. And Salah showing that
Ne
he
oldu
can
sana?
achieve
Divatele kom düşünüyor aslında divatele zemini.
Yeah.
It's like
Ye kadın herhalde değil
rewriting
ha.
Na, no wadi la dumur khubika. Ta khubiro jawa khubiro jabi kuli. Dumur khubika na bu washa wakan.
Same cami.
And Salah
Sen de
demonstrated
galiba
that
o.
global ambition
Ama
doesn't
olsam-
have to mean sacrificing
Olsam bile geçen.
respect
Mümkün.
right.
तुम्हारे दामा पर उसका ना चूल्हे वाली दिन सोम तक मुगर
Da
पेन
bu
सोम
da
तक
çöle giden da bakıcı da bu kadar acemi da.
अस्पिनी
Ada-
अब kadar de sama am kadar de base sana mano juandu de je no aşağı dikkat kim dava çoğuma
Ama ben de suça suça da bu kadar da wadun ni.
And on the flip side, witnessing Tony's
Nasıl olsa ki tuça uz bir tam naçi.
Pero mosam di sana hesta hesta rawiti
seeing that level of
şender
devotion.
sarawiti
Takım jami bora sayı çok da yas da kaka. Kine şey yas da kaka.
ما جامد تكمل
Beşeri.
ريغا مزمان هو سيبي روال ما يتشمار ما كان تقول بدري جوري زمالي جيميني ها
and maybe
زمالي جيمي جامي بورا من دريبا متولي
inspire a generation, not just
Aşeli ne işte.
كل شيء
Aşeli ne işte.
لكن هما لازم يموني وهذا كيف شو يصير زرمني عليه كيف بعده
Ne var ya bir tasvira mı işte ya?
require staying
Tasvira mı gitsin güzel.
يا رب
build a different kind of legacy than a global one like Salah.
أما لا غير واجد لك ها
Yeah.
يا
No bir hafta çok iyi bir ne bir de abi.
نمدي يا أخي هما دا
But
كل
Salah's
سيرفيس
impact is spreading far and wide.
أخو ما دم راشوا يباروس قال
Jamun bakın. Da zübiyar da var bu da jamun nali ha.
Perhaps there's
Ha.
types of legacies to thrive in.
Yeah.
Akhi wada ko gurjon. Kada tasa. Kala bu zübiyar wada jami kida.
ريغا مغلق تاجر كاب هما نباليكين بيوالي
Biya bali sa.
Kan kapa.
Challenges our assumptions.
Jamun mu wala ne no.
Legacy should
كان كاب الزبير وعد لزا عدنا كوما تبي ساري يمزي وسنا شروكو من الناس اللي بيجامي بلي ها
to appreciate
Ah, kan
الناس
da
اللي
wada.
وسنا نيكوري كان نزبا بيعدين كمان دي نشم
Da
وعلي
wada de beşeri dumar هم يومك wada de bak sama khabarata sun.
شاد مرغم
Ağzını tavana nişim kore şey
أقول
bakar.
زي رسالة بينزو لكو كي وزبانا كوما تجمع
صوبة.
طولة
Sul suq.
طولي كي
Laka suq tusal binu la jami ki. Tarahi da pan munawafan kida sa khabara la.
ها جامعة تخبر
Ah.
كمان يرفع
Lekin zo la ko jami ba ko ta la shar she weli.
طولة كم بيجي
Suqi.
رفع بيراولين بكيس
Ah wala runa shikam ne qawdira yigim kan.
كم دي شولي رالي كده دامن نشتري
Ma ta patala.
هذا يا ساندي
Shashadru le le ko ma ba dawra li bini. Zma pe county ra li bini.
right.
Totally
Tik ta sayida.
legendary figures.
Right, and those fans
This ضروري لحال كاسكي ها.
pull them to new heights.
نتوس ما سبيدا خبرت أشرو بتشيل سرورة ولا زمارو كنا ورك يجي زي ولا سنة كوما
Pizza grupo zubo pizza grupo jami ta.
نزول بينزو كوما
Ah.
It's that deep connection.
تاسو كل زغلم نشتت بينزو لا كنت توكو
والله قال الشغل
بينزو صحيح
الشغل
جينا
ضرب ولا وكما تلا كيلو غيالي.
سوري ستين كيف تابعنا كم غير جاما نوسنا راس ودا باسونا وانا كي ها بتاعنا كوما
زي يقوم.
بتاعنا كم تامنا كلا كل تقول على مقينا تخفيض تامنا كلا كلا كل شيء
In the same way that Tony
ما
26
ترى
to
بحالي
کوم دي
تقول أري موقعنا تختي لك شتونا ميزان لا شوري ده بڑا چاو دي هغه ډک کړی دي ها
پښتون کثیر څه کوم
نړه بچاو دغه بس دوه درې دیم پکې ټول نه داخل کړي ټول په ما ډک
But
کړي
one thing is
نو
for
څه پښتون
sure.
دا د قلالاګان را کړی کنه څه خبر چی دا ما نه کوم سینه ور کړی څه خبر نو
یا کوم دا تا
That's
درکړي
gonna leave a mark on the sport.
Absolutely, and that's what makes these deep
اخو
dives
ته د ګوره پرخته نه دي کوم دي درکړي
بس ما له خپل را کړی کنه ما له را کړی کنه
او ته ما ته
اگر
نه
ټول
کوم
عمر تا ما نه خړلې دي ټول عمر مې باندې په تازه ورځو کې ځان خړلې په زر به کې پینځه به کې لس به به تعالی دار کړی
Reflects our shared
تا وو خړلې
passions, loyalties, ambitions, and the enduring power of inspiration. So the next time you see Mo Salah weaving through defenders or
ټول
scoring
عمر
with
ته ما
a
سره
streak,
جامو واس په ټول
remember
عمر
that his
ته
journey
ته وران طرف
ټول عمر ته ما سره ولې صحیح ده تا بس د سوران طرف ته بوز ما کنه چې سمندر ته به ورغزار
ته چې څنګه جامې غانې کې
سمندر ته به ورواته تا چاله سکوړي دی
Until
ولې
next
ته
time, keep
بچاله
exploring,
سوې
keep learning, and keep diving deep.
تاسو په خپل خاندانی لا پانګې نو ته بچاله سوې خاندانی ته ما ته تاسو یو لږ ضرور پای نه غراو په چا ته خو دې لته جامې او په
خو دې راوړلو ته
خو هغه سړو کې نه
دو سال یو ځینې کې جامې غانې
خو هغه سړو کې نه نه هغه 2 سال یو دینه مې پراتی دي تا نه خورا خلاص
بس
نه
یو یو لکونو
خو نه نه خلاص خو دې نه کړو
لکونو ختم شو له روم الله پاک
نه را یا نه را اشته قرضونه دا تا پسې دي ها لس دی وینه پردای خوړلې وي وزره دې د کښ خوړلې و ها
All right, so
نه کاپا
diving deep today into football, really
موږ چې
getting
څو
into
پیړ نه شي دا شي کوم
Yeah, always fun to get a bit philosophical about the beautiful game.
totally. So we've got these two articles, both about they're focused on Thierry Henry,
Henry, always insightful. What's he got his eye on this time?
his contrast, right?
دې ګوزونیتا دې ګوزونیتا
Way more structured.
Yeah, that
بعض
shift is
نړیوالو
definitely
کنه
something.
ورهداس
How do
لرم
you
ورته ها
balance those two?
د بده ته وته چلو
So
خمیدا تا نه
that's what
باندې
we're
وره
digging into. And this kid, looking young, he's at the center of it.
Oh yeah, Yamal at Euro 2024.
ستاسو جامو ټول عمر دا
18
وایي
years